ready to crank up the volume because you're about to enter the realm of rebels and rock stars. Unleashing the thunder from down under the stage. We're diving deep with a deviance of melody, rhythm, and chaos. Now push up your sleeves and get ready to dive into the pit. It's time for Sitting with the Slimy Bastards, Music Edition.
Welcome to the Slimy Bastard Podcast Show. I'm stoked for this, and I can't thank everybody that's been involved with this to help me get here and get
Slimy Bastard.
I am the Slimy Bastard. I do racing and music and all that with podcasting, and to have you guys, no, I don't race. I actually just follow the guys that drive dirt track racing.
Oh, okay.
And up in Iowa and all over the place, and Nevada and Arizona and all that, but music in the winter is what I focus on, and pleased to have you guys all with me for this big big deal. And let's first get into there's been a big name change, and from what you guys were, let's reveal the new name and where it came from. And first of all, we got Kenny, Johnny, and Todd and Kurt, and welcome to the Slimy Bastard Podcast Show. So with that being said, here we are. Let's get into it.
Well, I started back in July. I was over Todd's house, and we were floating around in the swimming pool. And he's like, I was talking to Kirk. He said, "Hey, really wants to change the name of the band. There's already a couple of bands out there with those names or names that sound similar." I was like, "Well, why didn't you say something sooner?" So then we
Actually, I did, but
you did. You say it to me.
day one.
Actually,
They already got bands.
right.
But
But here's the thing. Whenever we got together to do this, we thought it was just going to be one song.
we had no.
We didn't have no idea if we could even gel together or whatever. And after we got, I think we all decided it needed its own identity.
Sure.
Yeah.
It couldn't be another band out there with a name like.
So I was talking with Kurt earlier, and I met Kurt actually back, what did we say, about 2005, 2006, with a buddy of mine who's actually in Florida helping getting the power restored.
God bless.
And anyway, we met him out on the tour with Propane and on Crowbar, and he had the typo tattoo, and I have the typo tattoo. No, you did. No, you did.
I might have
we
shirt. Everything.
No, you had it on your wrist because we got the picture because you're doing fist. And I'll have to find the picture of it.
Guys, didn't we?
No, we've done festivals with. They're New York guys, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a coincidence though that you guys got back to that. You guys are all together now doing this, so it's really cool.
Well, we've been running around in the same circles, bumping into each other. It's not that much coincidence,
It's like at the end of the day, I guess you run out of stuff and people to jam with, and doing side bands because unfortunately people quit, they retire, they pass away, whatever. You don't know.
And then there's us.
Right.
We don't retire, and we still haven't finished away.
Every day, man. But Andrew came up. He was the brainchild of this whole thing, really.
Yeah.
This has been going on for years, talking about us eventually getting together.
Yeah.
And for me, like, Ty was saying, we didn't know anything. I mean, I was nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
So was I.
So was I.
Well, Kenny, you've been doing stuff with Silver Tomb, right? And but that's pretty much all that you've been really doing besides this.
Yeah.
And with all the time between COVID and everything that you've been doing with this, it's probably a different, what do you want to say, like a different avenue, if that makes sense.
That's different. Yeah. It's different animal, definitely.
Right.
I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to keep repeating the same Black Sabbath rips over.
Yeah. And it sounds
You're on
good.
the clock.
I know.
But we're here at the Blue Nile in New Orleans, and the music, the video that you guys are getting ready to shoot, and that what I've heard, it sounds awesome. I really like it. It sounds really, really good.
Probably my favorite song.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to get reacquainted with the song
Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially for you, where you've been out doing.
I
what you're
haven't.
doing now.
Well, up until last week, I really hadn't heard a version of this like that. But like,
I haven't heard it since I recorded it.
yeah, like I don't even like. I know that we got together and did the drum tracks. Like, we obviously,
Right.
but I don't. When I heard the song the first time, I was like, I had no recollection of it.
Yeah.
It's like, what song is this? I was like, oh shit. It's like,
It was probably
I
called
played
something
that.
else at the time.
Yeah,
So being out, because you guys are so involved with other stuff and that, don't you find it difficult, like being here, like even right now, it's got to work for everybody, right?
It is
And
difficult.
yeah,
This guy's are very busy. He's always busy. He's busy every weekend.
yeah,
For Quiet
it's good,
Riot.
yeah,
yeah.
He's running around the world
Right.
constantly. Now he's doing down.
yeah,
It's a matter of sorting out logistics, though.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
we'll make
It makes it more special when we get together.
It
Yeah.
does, because honestly, I was like telling my wife earlier, I'm like, I haven't even seen these guys since like last
year.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Literally.
really, it's been that long.
Yeah.
So you guys been sharing like
I
tracks
had the
back
fucking
and forth?
shingles. It's
Well, it's kind of weird. What happened is he lays the egg of the drums. He laid the egg,
Yeah.
and then he left. And then, we got I think we got almost through one full song, which was Black to Red, right? In the studio
Yeah.
with Dwayne, with us all
Yeah.
in the same room,
Well,
which is how I'd really like to do the whole record, but there's no time for that.
Sure.
So, and I found myself at home in my studio with whatever drum tracks were there and scratch guitar tracks.
And I would come in and do bass tracks and
Yeah.
stuff.
And then I would figure out what kind of vocals to put on it, what sounds good or what tuning it should be in the room, different tunings.
I was telling Todd that earlier.
Well, it's either
like
it's either
Four.
D, it's either in D, it's D, C, and a regular E.
B.
So it's
C as well. I think coming down is in
Oh yeah, it's in
B.
B, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That had to do it.
It's been a year.
But the thing about the B is this. It's like the way we did the first song. You could do this C, you do it in C and drop it to B. You do a drop B.
C sharp we were in. Yeah.
Right, C sharp.
Drop.
And
That's
drop B.
how I played.
Or drop B for this song. So you can break it down live. What I'm saying is live, we could break it down to 2 different tunings or 3 different tunings.
Killing me.
I'm thinking, what do you got about this shit? This song's another good. You guys
We gotta try to remember Rick Nielsen.
Yeah.
Think about it when I'm not around. I don't care.
Yeah, that's right.
Johnny needs another Corona.
You leave, and then you're like, what song is this?
Johnny's gonna need another Corona.
What key is it?
So I sent tracks.
We playing
Sending tracks back and forth from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
New Orleans. Well, he's in the studio in New Orleans, and we'd send him back. That's how we did it.
And it's worked.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
What great.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd send me
Yeah.
little videos like, okay, this one goes like this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do this. And
in my underwear.
It's the way a lot of bands work now.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
And it works.
It really is. It's
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 easier.
not uncommon to be in different parts of the country and
right in the world, even,
Yeah.
like literally.
and like sending tracks to each other and building a song
Sure.
that way.
Right.
It's certainly different. It has a
It's
different set of
more. It's
challenges.
got to be more cost efficiently too.
It is, but it doesn't have the same vibe.
Yeah.
Sitting in my studio alone is not the same vibe as me sitting in a room with these guys and it's bouncing
Right.
shit off.
Same thing. If I'm doing guitar tracks alone with Dwayne and
Yeah.
Studio Johnny, I'm like, okay, it's great, but
Sure.
it's not like we're jamming.
Yeah.
And I think more comes like naturally off the cuff if you're together. It's jamming.
Right.
We just don't have that amount of time to stay.
It doesn't have that spontaneity
Yeah,
that
we don't have that
where
much
stuff gets created like on the spot and things like that.
Yeah.
It was written like that kind of, but
Yeah, the songs were written. We would start out every morning. We'd get into the studio. We'd be here. We'd get together for a week.
Yeah.
And we'd start out in the morning. The guys would come in with a couple of rough ideas. And then we would build a song.
Off of that.
And then by the end of later in the afternoon, we do a drum track for it.
And we'd arrange it to the best of our ability to
right.
with no
Yeah,
bombs
yeah,
over it.
Just to get an idea of an arrangement and stuff
Right.
like that. And then it would get built upon later. And then the next day we would do the same thing, where at least we had the foundation of we had a drum track.
All right.
And then that gave them something to work with. And then, like there was a rough sketch of the song, like, there's a basic riff
Right.
or a basic idea.
Mhm.
And then it would get, the layers would come later on.
Sure.
And that's how come I don't recognize any of these songs.
It's up there, Aaron.
I literally, I mean, like the engineer Dwayne, he's like sent a like a Google Drive thing, and I was just, like listening to the song.
Here's your record.
I was like, when did we do this? I was like, what song is this? When did we do this? I literally had no idea. I was like, there's some stuff. There were a couple of things, a couple of little things here and there. I was like, all right, I remember doing that. I remember this idea, or whatever. And then, but for the most part, it was like rediscovering a new band.
Sure.
That I had no part of. Yeah, it was.
That's why I like
Yeah.
I don't listen like to the stuff. I listen to it like when we do it.
Yeah.
Then I'll leave it be, because when I go back and listen, I'm like, all right, my wife's by my stepdaughter's, she's over there for the day. Let me put on my headphones and crank this fucking thing up and really see what
Sure.
we did. And it's fresh, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
I
like this band.
shit's good. Yeah. Right. He's great, man.
We're gonna go somewhere.
Pleasure to be a part of it. It is, man.
Well, it's interesting to hear it because, like, after not hearing it for so long, it's like you're completely detached from it.
Right.
I mean, like,
Into it.
No, but
I didn't hear it.
But I haven't heard it for like some.
And then-
I haven't
and-
heard for like a year.
right, and you're also off gigging, playing other
Yeah, like
music.
yeah,
like
like,
I am
talking
too,
like other
and
things.
a couple of, with 12 Hour Down or something.
Yeah.
When you go back and revisit, it's like a good surprise.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's good. It's great stuff, man. It's a lot of fun.
So one thing I've been wanting to ask you and Kenny is, the first time I saw you guys was actually on the Motley Crue '94 tour.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I don't.
wanna reveal it?
You know what? Yeah, I don't. Honestly, how old do you think I am? Because I hear this all the time. So
it shouldn't be.
no, I'm 49.
I was about to
And-
guarantee you're way younger than me.
And
Yeah, so you were literally a kid.
yeah, is it just in high school? Just graduated high school.
Where were we playing?
That's when because Mike was Motley's tour manager then.
Amato.
Yeah, Mike
Yep.
Amano,
And,
yeah.
Mike D'Amato.
and that's how we got backstage and that through Mike, because my buddy knew.
Where? Nile?
No, this was
Yeah.
down in Kansas at Bonner Springs.
Oh
It was an
shit!
outdoor
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
And then we went to Chicago. We followed you guys to
Mhm.
Chicago, and then up to Minneapolis at the Mirage. There's the 2 nights at the Mirage.
I remember that.
At
At the Mirage, they had this wall in the middle of the floor, and it had the underage drinkers and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played there
Yeah.
twice with
Yeah.
Pantera back in the 90s.
They downsized that gig to the Mirage, right? Was that
Yes,
when
yeah, that was when they started.
and
downsizing.
they proceeded, Monica proceeded to set up and play at the same decibel volume as Arena, and it was so fucking loud. You went, oh my God, Mick Mars!
Mick Mars is the
song took
loudest,
my head
has the
off
loudest guitar tone ever.
I've ever heard in a small room, and
I do love his tone, but
Yeah.
It's great.
But I wanted to know
Yes.
is because you guys toured with Karabi, and in my opinion, and everybody, my buddies that went to all these shows with me, that Motley album is one of our top 5 albums of all time. And I
it's
think
one of the ones that I could tolerate more than the others.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's so well done.
Great voice.
Yeah, and just that extra guitar in there with that is just
Tommy
But-
played his ass off on that record.
yeah, and you could tell
The
the
sounds are amazing.
yeah, and we always say
They're
that.
not electronic either.
So I wanted to get your guys' input on that.
Yeah.
It's all acoustic drums and stuff. And,
all that makes a difference.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for them.
it was the wrong record
No,
at the wrong
yeah,
time.
exactly.
Well, they were doing it because alternative rock was big then, so they
Right.
were trying to like do something that fit in more with what was going on.
And we were honest. I mean, we were just excited just to see you guys out on tour. That's
Oh, I thought
we-
maybe you didn't even know who we were.
no, that's
I
exactly.
mean, with all
Because-
due respect, I would have left after Typo.
Well, it-
King's X is cool.
yeah, that was our
All the fun happened after Motley Crue went off.
but no, we were there solely because we wanted to see you guys,
I didn't
and
know
we actually found you guys.
It was typo King's X and Motley.
Yeah,
Oh wow, no King
on
Sorry about that.
no, you're good. But no, that's why we came to those shows, is just because of we found you guys on Headbangers Ball with the Black
There
Number
weren't-
One.
There weren't too many people that were familiar with the band at that point. Like, that was just like, the record had been out. The record had been out like a year at that
Yeah,
and people would, when we got that tour, things were just starting to pick up. People were starting to take notice of
sure.
who we were and stuff like that.
So out of all the things you guys have done, I mean, you guys done some big stuff. I mean, all of you guys collectively, right? What's one of the biggest accomplishments that you'd say that would stand out in your guys' individual
Rob Halford came up to him and whispered in his ear, "Hey, you know, I have your record on repeat."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty big accomplishment.
Really?
Man.
Well, Pepper Keenan and I were, it was probably rigged. Fortunate enough to get the Riff Lord Award at the God thing.
Yeah, the Golden Gods.
Oh yeah, and then London or whatever. And Rob's behind me, and
Rob Halford.
yes, and Glenn Tipton's behind Pepper, and I know Rob.
Uh-huh.
I never met Glenn, and I'm like, hey, you know, and he's almost as short as me, so I was happy. But so Rob's, you know, in his full long thing, he goes, Kirk, mate. He goes, what do y'all up for? I said, Riff Lord Award. He goes, you deserve it, mate. And he put his hand on my shoulder, and I was like, I started tearing up. I'm like, this for you.
I started
Because Alice Cooper's like, yeah, man, you know, we got Kirk. Of course, he mispronounced her name. And literally, I'm like, this is like, these guys were all over my wall when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
So it's a real moment.
Sure.
And like I said, it was probably all set up, but you know, I do write good. Like,
But it's a story you're still telling today.
yes, because it's real.
Yeah.
You know,
What about you, Johnny?
I mean, accomplishments or like, things, it's 2024. I'm still here doing this,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
was about to say longevity, and I
yeah.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
and doing it, doing it at a level, like that's, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm more blown away than anyone else.
It's funny you say that. When I had Andrew on a couple months ago, I said right out of the gate that I think you got a typo negative name is bigger today than what it was 20 years
To
ago.
me, would be what I feel the biggest accomplishment is. Like I have, like just the other day, me and my wife out food shopping. 3 kids, like from 17 to 20 years old, came up to me and I was taking pictures of them behind the Coca counter. Fans. They weren't alive.
Yeah.
The release of probably our first 3 records. Both of my kids are older.
Yeah.
We transcended. So
Right.
That's the real.
So when you step back at that, it's got to give you a full circle of what your career is almost done of what
We must have did something right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And we didn't do anything right.
Yeah.
We did not do
everything out,
yeah.
man,
Yeah, we didn't do anything right, and and people are still discovering the band.
I mean, with the worst death for an artist is fade away, right?
Yeah.
We made another decade, I guess. So.
Todd, where are you at in this?
I'm back in Texas.
Tell it like it is.
But
That's what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I think I've accomplished a lot of things.
Toward the world, Cobar down.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I mean, I think for me too, one of the, other than the probably rigged Riff Lord Award thing, so real moments would be, and God bless James Hetfield. My dad was talking his ear off, and God bless my father. He passed away 2 years ago, but we played with Metallica at Smoothie King Center, and James got up and did "Bury Me in Smoke," and he was really like he was firing up his rig. You know, he was playing. And he's looking at me during the bridge, like, how does it go? And I'm like, trying to show him my part. And I'm like, am I really teaching James how to play a down song in front of 18,000 people?
Yes.
Family and every friend I ever grew up with. I'm like, this is kind of, crazy.
Right.
It's crazy,
But
man.
he's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
Really crazy.
So with that being said, I mean, I can't thank you guys enough with the time and
Thank you.
everything. And
Thank you.
I appreciate everything you guys have done for me personally on a personal level with your music and that. And I mean, it's gone a long ways where I've even named my youngest son after Peter Steele. It's Maverick Steele Rolling and
Oh, okay. Drinks
so-
on me tonight.
yeah, yeah. So I'll second that. But no, I seriously do appreciate the time and everything. And I know you guys got a video here to get done and hope to see you guys out on the road with this soon. I know you guys have talked or there's some stuff coming up in the future of doing some stuff with
Summer. I mean, I got some time available, and I'm hoping this gentleman does. But
yeah.
We'll see. I haven't got my.
You could
But I
remotely
gave
play in.
2 thumbs up. I'm like, dude, I'm looking at the the Pantera Metallica weekends, and I'm like, oh, they're busy every fucking weekend. We're not doing anything with them. So
Yeah.
available,
Yeah.
if we can make
Right.
something happen. So
And that's got to be tricky. I'm sorry to just sidestep. That's got even got to be tricky for you too.
it,
Doing
it is hard. And it's probably why this band has yet to actually even have a proper rehearsal, when we make it to a whole song,
yeah,
because of how busy, mainly Johnny and I, but
sure.
it's tough when you're in multiple things. But dude, in order to make money these days, you got to throw everything against the wall and see what
Right.
sticks.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
you got
You
to
have
get
to
out
hustle.
there. You
Yeah.
got to make a name for yourself. You got to make a brand for yourself. You got to get out and you got to work your ass off and do it. I still carry my own fucking gear and I'm almost 60 years old. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm
Yeah.
proud of it.
Right.
I ain't paying some motherfucker to carry my I can do it.
No shame in hard
Just-
work.
Exactly.
Keep doing what you do and buy lighter and lighter gear.
Johnny paid
No
my
BS.
buddy a couple beers to carry his drums
How
in.
much does it weigh?
That's what I'm saying. You're back. You're gonna pat yourself on the back for not
Yeah,
carrying
I have to figure out a way.
20-pound. Well,
I-
it's tougher on you because now, like I found out, KK Downing is even using the same rig that I use now, which is the Neural DSP
Yeah.
Quad Cortex thing. So the whole little kit and caboodle is two little bitty things that I carry on, boom, 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 and 700 watts.
Yeah.
You can run two cabs, and
So I'll get you guys out of here on this real quick question for each of you. What's your favorite album or what you guys like for you guys with Typo and then of course of Crowbar or Down or whatever. But what's
Favorite album?
yeah, what you would like for you individually? What would be your favorite album that you rolled coming down?
I know it's dark, but
Yeah.
it's real.
it's supposed to be dark.
Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite album.
So deep in heart.
Well, it's
Either that or so deep in heart.
yeah,
for me.
slow deep
Slow Deep in Heart.
probably. Yeah, if I had to pick one, yeah,
Yeah.
that would probably be it.
Yeah.
Like because of just like how interesting and different it was at the time. But then seeing what goes into the sauce.
All right.
Like those records represent something different to me than who's ever listening.
Sure.
So like to me, it's a snapshot of what we were doing in our lives at that point.
Yeah.
It's like some of that. There's a lot of scars in there.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at it, I look at the cover and be like, oh.
Every musician on the planet would say the same thing about the albums they went through. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So like so that's like seeing
Yeah.
whatever, seeing the records, I just see it differently. I'm just
Sure.
I'm looking at it through a different lens than
Yeah.
somebody else.
What about you, Kurt?
I mean, number one is a big fan of what they've done.
Yeah.
Like Slow Deep and Hard, World Coming Down is, but I love That Again.
It's a great album.
I really do. And it's a lot of long songs, but like Phil used to play it.
That was the
time
most
backstage.
painful album for us to make. So that was
Oh yeah, it took forever. I know.
pulling teeth.
It was a tough record to make.
As far as
But
the
it's a
top
great
been,
album.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think for a band that had been that far in their career, it's a pretty solid record.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some stuff on it that are like that's special and like what makes Typo Negative great.
Right.
So
Speaking of Dead Again, September Sun, Peter does the
You always
Tongue.
do that shit.
but yeah, he also did it in
His girlfriend.
the end and
He used the same group of sound effects in life, period.
Yeah.
really
He did a really good dog growling too. Yeah. He's a good mimic.
but I just always wonder where that came from because it was on,
Cartoons.
really
Yeah, it's like from Bugs Bunny.
They do.
so. But anyway, thanks for the time, guys. Best of luck with what you guys are doing, and appreciate you guys' time and everything. And for everybody that's out there, like and share, and follow these guys up on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media apps, and of course, Corpse Paints Records and Andrew Spalding. I can't thank him enough for getting this all together and that. So
Thanks for buying dinner tonight.
hey, Andrew's discovered part is this paid off. So
Where are we going?
but thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Get ready to crank up the volume because you're about to enter the realm of rebels and rock stars. Unleashing the thunder from down under the stage. We're diving deep with a deviance of melody, rhythm, and chaos. Now push up your sleeves and get ready to dive into the pit. It's time for Sitting with the Slimy Bastards, Music Edition.